thing that you need to understand about vectors is that vectors can be added and subtracted. Now there are several methods by which vectors can be added and subtracted, but in this lesson I will show you two fundamental methods. So if you have, for example, two vectors, let's say vector A and another vector B. Now if you are asked to calculate to find a vector C, which is given by A plus B, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. You can use what we call the head to tail method. What you need to do is, listen carefully now, we're using the head to tail method. What that means is that you're going to start by drawing vector A. This is vector A. You will place the tail of B on the tip of A. Let me say that again. You will place the tail of B on the tip of A and draw vector B in its direction. This is vector B. Now, the next thing that you will need to bear in mind is the resultant vector is a vector drawn from the tail of A to the tip of B. So this will be C. Also observe something. What if we want to do vector C equal to B plus A? Will it be the same as A plus B? Let's see. B plus A, we start with vector B. This is vector B. Then we place the tip of A on the tail of B. This is vector A. The resultant will be a vector drawn from the tip of B to the tail end of A. And this is C. What do you notice? You notice here that A plus B is the same as B plus A. In other words, vector addition is commutative. The direction, whether you start with A or with B, really doesn't matter. So consequently, if you have, let's say, we can say that vector A plus B plus C will be equal to vector A plus B plus C. The order really does not matter. We call this associativity of vectors. The order of operation really doesn't matter when it comes to addition of vectors. Now, just as a quick note here, if you have a vector A, this is vector A, and the vector negative A has the same magnitude as A but oppositely directed. This is important because if you want to do, let's say you have a vector C equal to A minus B, how do you add these vectors? Let me demonstrate that. Suppose you have a vector A which is directed like that. This is vector A. And you have another vector B. You have another vector B which is directed like that. And you have been asked to calculate a vector C which is equal to A minus B. So keep in mind that minus B is a vector of the same magnitude as B but oppositely directed. So this is vector minus B. And if that is true, then our vector addition will just be, we start with vector A. We're going to begin with vector A. We place the tip of minus B on the tail of A. This is minus B. Then the resultant will be a vector from the tail of B, sorry, the tail of A to the tip of minus B. So this will be C, where C is equal to A minus B. Is equal to A minus B. Now another property of vectors that I will like for you to remember is what we call the identity element of vector addition. Now there is a unique vector which, when added or subtracted from a vector, will not change that vector. We call it the identity vector. And that vector is just O. Vector A plus vector O is just vector A. Vector A minus vector O is just vector A. When we add or subtract that vector from any vector, it doesn't change anything. We call that vector the identity vector. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask in the discussion forum below.